Have you ever noticed that you have some odd kind of pain in your leg that doesn't subside, and you might think it is just aging or tiredness? Or you might have ulcers or wounds that do not heal very easily. Or your feet might feel cold even in summer. These might not seem dangerous, but they can be harboring a disease inside, which is called as peripheral arterial disease or blockages of your leg arteries. Peripheral arterial disease or PAD is very common, but most of the times it is unrecognized. It especially is more common in people who have blood pressure, diabetes, are smoking, or they have a family history of either heart disease or peripheral arterial disease. Unfortunately, the awareness around PAD is not as strong as it is for heart attacks, but the incidence of both is almost as common. And many people don't realize that a peripheral arterial disease can have a much bigger impact on limb and life both, because many people who have peripheral arterial disease would end up with gangrene, undergo amputation of their leg or legs, and sometimes even end up with heart attacks and strokes. As a vascular surgeon with more than 18 years of experience, in this video I wish to share with you some important initial signs of peripheral arterial disease that, if recognized early, can be treated very well, and you can avoid this condition from becoming so dangerous. So if you know of someone who has such unusual leg pain, make sure you share this video with them too. So first, let us understand what is peripheral arterial disease or PAD. Peripheral arterial disease is a condition in which there is blockage of your leg arteries. When the leg arteries are blocked by what is called as an atherosclerotic plaque or thrombus, so the amount of blood going to your muscles will be reduced. So initially, the muscles have less blood flow, so whenever you walk, the muscles will get tired easily, and that is what gives rise to a pain. But if this aggravates further, the blood flow still reduces, then someone may have pain even at rest. Ulcers or wounds that may happen either spontaneously or because of minor injury may not heal very well, because healing requires proper blood flow. And if this stage progresses further, it can reach to the stage of tissue death, which in medical terms is called gangrene, and that ultimately leads to an amputation of the leg. So that's the whole stage through which a person with peripheral arterial disease can go through. So the first warning sign is pain on walking. Now this pain is mainly in the muscles, and when you walk, the muscles of the leg will get tired or be painful. So if you have a blockage in the femoral artery, which is between your groin and the knee, then the muscle below it, which is the calf muscle, will be the first muscle to get the pain. And typically this is described by many as a cramping or aching type of pain. And when the person takes rest for a few minutes, they feel perfectly okay. But again they start walking and they'll develop pain in the calf muscle. So this in medical language is called as intermittent claudication. Intermittent because it is not constant. It only happens when someone is walking. Now, this oftentimes is confused or misdiagnosed as old age, arthritis, or spine problem. But there are a few differences which can help us know which is which. So if a person has leg pain only on walking but no pain when they are standing. Secondly, if the pain occurs at a constant distance. And thirdly, if the pain is relieved at rest or standing, then it is most likely to be due to a vascular problem. This pain can often aggravate enough so that people may not be able to do their daily tasks. Some people may have or may notice this pain when they're going out for a walk. The pain may happen at 100 meters, 200 meters, and in some people, the claudication distance may reduce to a few steps only. But some people who do not walk that much, then this stage may not just be noticeable. But if you are a regular walker or you have the habit of walking a few steps every day, you might pick this up very early. The second warning sign is numbness or weakness in the feet. Now, numbness is usually a sign of nerve problem. But if the blood flow reduces further, and then even the nerves get less blood flow and less oxygen, the nerves start getting damaged. And that is when numbness can affect your feet and toes. But only numbness without any pain in walking may be more of a nerve problem rather than a vascular problem. Along with numbness, because muscles also get less blood flow, the balance also may be lost. But remember that too much loss in balance or coordination again is more likely to be a nerve problem. So, if an artery is narrowed, which is a gradual process, and then there is a sudden blockage into that artery, it leads to sudden stoppage of blood flow to the leg and foot. So, what this does is it will cause numbness and weakness of the muscles all within a very short duration, sometimes a few hours or just a day or two. So, if a person has sudden artery blockage, then numbness and muscle weakness are more common. And that is where the confusion between a nerve problem and an artery problem can arise. A prompt diagnosis by a vascular surgeon, getting a Doppler ultrasound to confirm presence or absence of blood flow are very critical when it comes to these emergencies. Acute leg ischemia is an emergency and should be treated as early as possible. The third warning sign, which is very subtle, is cold feet or cold hands or cold toes. So, if the feet or toes feel cold, especially if there's a difference between the two, that definitely means that the circulation in that affected limb is less. Some people may have a weather-related sensitivity, in which case both the feet may appear cold. But if there's a difference in temperature between both the feet, then we are definitely looking at an arterial cause for that. The fourth warning sign, and it is one of the most frequent ones that we really come across, is wounds or ulcers that do not heal. People can have small injuries, cuts, or even itching, which gives rise to those spontaneous small ulcers either in the toes or in the feet. And when these ulcers do not heal within 2 to 4 weeks, you must always suspect that there is reduced blood flow to that area. More than 80% of people with non-healing ulcers will have some vascular issue which needs to be diagnosed. In some people, these wounds and ulcers may become infected or even go to the stage of gangrene very fast, especially if they have lower immunity or they have uncontrolled diabetes. So, people who have diabetes should be very careful when they have such non-healing ulcers. The fifth warning sign is change in the skin color or texture. Now, this is a sign which some people may not even notice, but because of reduced blood flow, reduced oxygen, and reduced nutrition, the skin tends to become very thin and shiny. Even the hair over that area will reduce because all of these things need proper blood flow. And in absence of proper blood flow, there may be no pain. But if there are these signs noticed, they do point towards a reduced blood circulation in the leg. The sixth warning sign is called as rest pain. Yes, when someone has pain at rest, even when they are not walking, especially pain which doesn't allow them to sleep. So this is called as rest pain, and it is also called as the cry of dying nerves. The nerves which are really responsible for giving you the pain sensation are crying because they do not get any significant blood flow. And this happens when the amount of blood flow to the foot reduces beyond a critical level. And that is why this is also called as the level of critical limb ischemia or CLI. At this stage, when someone has rest pain, the blood flow has reduced to such a low level that if not treated in time, there are very high chances of developing gangrene and ending up with a leg amputation. And those of you who might have known someone who suffered from rest pain, describe it as one of the worst pains to have. People may not be able to sleep for even a minute, and they keep holding their hand while sitting on the bed and the others are sleeping at night. And this pain reduces when they walk, because when you walk, some amount of improved blood flow will reduce this pain sensation. But this rest pain can be one of the most severe pain that a person has. And if they undergo the right treatment and the blood flow is restored, then reduction in rest pain is one of the most satisfying things both for the patient and the doctor. So, if you have any of these warning signs, make sure you take them seriously and do consult a vascular surgeon or a vascular specialist. Because do you know why peripheral arterial disease can be dangerous? Number one, because reduction in blood flow may lead to gangrene and amputation. That's the most important risk factor or problem or complication that peripheral arterial disease can lead to. But it doesn't happen in all. An average of 30 to 35% of people with blocked arteries may end up with major amputations. The second important risk factor, which is often missed, is that it also means that if there is artery blockage in one part of your body, there can be blockages in other parts as well, like your heart or brain. And that is why a person who has peripheral arterial disease will have 3 to 4 times the higher risk of developing heart attack and strokes as compared to any other person. So, just the presence of peripheral arterial disease may mean that you are at a higher risk of heart and stroke problems both. That is why diagnosing peripheral arterial disease early is essential. And how do we doctors diagnose it? Let us see how. So, the way that heart diseases are often diagnosed by a resting ECG, for peripheral arterial disease, we have a simple test called as the ankle brachial pressure index. It's the comparison of blood pressure of your hands and the legs both. And this index should normally be more than 1. Your legs have a higher blood pressure as compared to your hands. And if this index is less than 0.9, it means there is some evidence of peripheral arterial disease. And if it reduces below 0.5, then the risks of developing critical limb ischemia are high. So it's a quick non-invasive test which can be done at any vascular surgeon clinic. And if diagnosed to have this, I'm sure you would like to know what further treatments are available for peripheral arterial disease. And in this video, I have shown all the methods that we use to treat this condition.